slogan. I declare this meeting open at 1 p.m. Welcome to the Shire of Ashburton Ordinary Council meeting being held at Ashburton Hall in Paraburdoo. Please ensure your mobile phones are turned off or set to silence for the duration of the meeting. This meeting is being live streamed and audio recorded. Please remember to use your microphones when speaking. Council meetings are public and any information you provide may be recorded and could be publicly accessible. Please note that the council chambers do not operate under parliamentary privilege. Elected members and staff may be held personally liable for any defamatory comments or breaches of confidentiality. Statements made during council meetings are solely the views of the individual speaker. Comments cannot be attributed to the Shire unless formally adopted by a resolution of the council. Elected members and employees must disclose any financial, proximity or impartiality interests related to agenda items. This declaration should be made at the start of the meeting or at the latest prior to the item being discussed. Disclosures must comply with the Local Government Act 1995. Elected members who disclose a financial or proximity interest must refrain from participating in discussions related to that interest and must leave the meeting during that time. The confirmed minutes of council meeting serve as official record. Recordings of council meetings must not be copied, republished or reproduced without the express permission of the Shire. 1.1 Acknowledgement of Country. As representatives of the Shire of Ashburton Council, we respectfully acknowledge the local Indigenous people, the traditional custodians of this land where we are meeting upon today. Pay respects to them and all their elders, past and present. Item 2, Announcement of Visitors. We do not have any. Item 3, Attendance. As per on the screen, we have a guest. Welcome. A member of the public, and we do not have members of the media. Apologies, we do not have any. Approve leave of absence. We do not have any. Item 4, Question Time. 4.1, Respond to previous public question taken on notice. We do not have any. 4.2, Public Question Time. Are there any public questions? Do you have any public questions, sir?
Just want to know what's going on with the tip.
Can I get you to come out the front?
Yeah.
And Councillor Rogers, could you, and if you could speak onto the mic, that would be great. And state your name and where you're from, too.
Yeah, g'day. I'm from Paraburdoo. My name's Kia Blackley, and just interested in what's going on for us out at the tip now that we seem to have lost the fella out there, and the weekends are a bit rough with nobody there, you know.
I will refer that to the Director of Infrastructure.
Thank you, through you, Madam President. This last weekend we were closed Friday, Saturday, Sunday because we had a staff member that was ill. So unfortunately we weren't able to have it open, and we've been closed, I think, the past 4 Sundays on the weekend, again, just due to resourcing issues. That should be back to normal this week, where we'll be open Saturday and Sunday on a weekend. Right. Okay.
Any further questions? Is that it? Thank you. Item 5, Declaration by Members. 5.1, Due consideration by elected members to the agenda. Elected members, I'll go around the table, and please state that you have been given due consideration to all matters contained in this agenda. Councillor White.
Yes.
Councillor Fox.
Yes.
Councillor Rumble.
Yes.
Councillor Rogers.
Yes.
Councillor Healy.
Yes.
Councillor Day.
Yes.
Councillor Sullivan.
Yes.
And me, myself, yes. Item 5.2, Declaration of Interest. We do have some declaration. I will ask Mr. Woodward, Chief Executive Officer, if you could read The declaration also correspondence from the Department of Local Government Industry Relations.
Thank you,
Just
Madam.
have to scroll
Thank you, Madam
down.
President.
Scroll down.
Okay, correspondence from the Department of Local Government Industry Regulation and Safety. Dear Mr Woodward, I refer to your correspondence dated the 14th of November 2025 and advise that in accordance with the authority delegated to the Minister for Local Government, I have approved the application under section 5.693 of the Local Government Act 1995. Approval was granted under section 5.693A of the Act to allow the disclosed members, Councillor Karen Day, Councillor Bree Healy, Councillor Audra Smith and Councillor Tom Fox to participate and vote on the following item at the Shire of Ashburton Ordinary Council meeting, the 18th of November 2025. 15.2 Pannawonica Bike Park Destination Playground and Sports Club Outdoor Decking Upgrade and Variation. Subject to the following conditions. 1. Approval is valid for the 18th of November 2025 Ordinary Council meeting when Agenda 15.2 is considered. Number 2, the above-mentioned councillors must declare the nature of and extent of their interests at the above-mentioned meeting and when is considered together with the approval provided. The Chief Executive Officer is to provide a copy to the Department of Local Government Industry Regulation and Safety, a letter of approval to the above councillors, the CEOs to ensure that declarations including approval given and any conditions imposed are recorded in the minutes of the above-mentioned meeting when the item is considered. Number 5, the CEOs to provide a copy of the confirmed minutes and the above-mentioned meeting to the LGIRS to allow the LGIRS to verify compliance with the conditions of this approval, and the approval is granted. The approval granted is based solely on the interest disclosed by the above-mentioned councillors made in accordance with the application. Should other interests be identified, these interests will not be included in this approval, and a financial interest provision of the Act will apply. Should you require further information in relationship to this matter, please contact Mr. Mihal something. Excuse me on that. Senior Legislation Officer. Details are provided above.
CEO Woodward, I also submitted a declaration for 15.2. Was my
Okay.
name?
Thank
right?
you. I'll run through the declaration.
Thank you.
Through the declaration. Sorry, Councillor. Was that a declaration associated with 15.2? Okay, you've not been allowed to participate. Yep. So we have the declarations to be read aloud. One from Councillor Healy, indirect financial. My partner is an employee of Rio Tinto. We do not reside in company housing. However, my partner receives the HSP allowance and utilities benefit. The next declaration is by Councillor Fox. It's indirect financial. I am currently a Pannawonica Sports Club Committee member. I am an employee of Rio Tinto. I live in Rio Tinto provided housing. The next declaration is Councillor Rumble as a direct financial. I'm a shareholder of Rio Tinto Limited of the value exceeding the prescribed amount. This is part of my retirement fund. Councillor Rogers is impartiality. Rio Tinto employee, and I hold Rio Tinto shares of a value exceeding the prescribed amount. Councillor Smith, Shire President Smith, my apologies. Direct financial, my husband is employed by Rio Tinto. Rio Tinto provides subsidised housing and utilities as part of my husband's employment, which I reside in and benefit from. I am a board member of the Aware Group, Inc., which has a partnership with Rio Tinto. I participate in decision-making for the projects involving Rio Tinto. The next declaration is Councillor Sullivan, direct financial. My husband works for Rio Tinto. I and my husband live in subsidised housing provided by Rio Tinto. I and my husband own shares above the prescribed amount. Councillor Day, indirect financial. Husband works for Rio Tinto. We live in Rio Tinto provided housing. Shire President Smith. What's that?
That's a different
Okay,
number.
thank you.
No, you keep reading, but you go.
Okay. Shire President, indirect financial interests for associated with Agenda 11/EDT, Shire of Ashburton Small Business Grant Program 25-26. Indirect financial interest. One of the applicants in the Small Business Grant Program is a person for whom I'm closely associated. I also note that 7 applicants were presented. An impartiality interest. I acknowledge these applicants, but no financial or personal relationship will have influence over my decision. Councillor Healy, impartiality, currently Vice Chairperson of PICCI, P-I-C-C-I, Picky. Councillor Day, impartiality, parties are known to me. Shire President Smith, direct financial interests. The request for professional development and training relates directly to me in my capacity as the Shire President, and I, as the decision may result in the Shire covering the costs associated with my training. Councillor Healy, direct financial training for myself. Thank you, Madam President.
Thank you, Mr Woodward. Item 6, announcement by the presiding member and councillors without discussion. I do have one announcement. I'd just like to congratulate Deputy Shire President Alana Sullivan on completing her Diploma of Local Government Elected Members, which we received a notification today. Well done, Councillor. Councillor Rogers, do you have any announcement?
I do not.
Councillor Healy, Councillor Day, Deputy Shire President Sullivan, no? Councillor White, Councillor Fox,
I do not.
Councillor Rumble.
No, not at this stage.
Thank you. Item 7, petitions, deputations and presentations. 7.1, petitions, we do not have any. 7.2, deputations, we do not have any. 7.3, presentations, we do not have any. Item 8, approve leave of absence. 8.1, approve application for leave of absence. Officer's recommendation that Council approve the request for leave of absence for Councillor Rory DePledge of the Ashburton Tablelands Ward for the period from 16th of November 2025 to the 23rd of November 2025 inclusive. Councillors, may I please have a mover and a seconder? Councillor White and Councillor Healy. Is there anyone who wants to speak against this? No, if that's no one, I'll just take that as carried, 8-0. Item 9, en bloc resolution. 9.1, agenda items adopted en bloc. We have 2 items that it will be adopted en bloc. 10.1.1, minutes of the ordinary council meeting held on the 28th of October 2025 be confirmed as true and accurate record. And 10.1.2, minutes of the waste committee meeting held on 19th of August 2025 be confirmed as true and accurate records. May I please have a mover and a seconder? Councillor White and Councillor Sullivan. Anyone want to talk against this item? No, if that's it. Councillor, can I have a show of hands if you in support of this item? That is carried, 8-0. Item 10, oh no, we've done that. Sorry, my apologies. Okay, councillors, I am going to put a procedural motion through. Can I please have a mover and a seconder to change the order of business to bring forward item 12.3, elected members' professional development training request, Shire President Smith, as the next matter of normal business after item EDT.1, Shire of Ashburton Small Business Grant Program 2025-2026. May I please have a mover and a seconder? Councillor Day and Councillor Healy. Does anyone want to speak against that?
I just got a question. What's the reason?
Reasoning is because we're moving it so that we have two items in a row where I leave the room.
Okay, thank you.
So, any more questions? All right, councillors, if you're in support of this, can I have a show of hands? That is carried 8-0. So I will now, we're moving to item 11, recommendation from committee, EDT .1 Shire Ashburton Small Business Grant Program 2025-2026. I will be leaving the room and Deputy Shire President Sullivan will take this on.
Thank you, Madam President. Okay, item 11, recommendations from committee. ETD1, Shire of Ashburton Small Business Grants Program 2025-2026. The committee recommendation is that the Economic and Tourism Development Committee recommends that Council approves the request for additional grant funding in the amount of $35,093 as a variation to the initial $50,000 endorsed by Council on the 17th of June 2025. Supports the recommendation of the Small Business Grant Assessment Panel as detailed in Attachment 3 for the award of the 2025-26 Small Business Grants. Requests the Chief Executive Officer to prepare a small business grant council policy for consideration at the next Economic and Tourism Development Committee. Firstly, do I have any questions regarding this item? May I have a mover? Councillor Rumble, and a seconder, Councillor Healy. If there are no questions, you have a question?
No, Councillor Sullivan, but because I moved the motion, I'm allowed to talk on the motion. I think I raised this at the time when we were doing this agenda item, or some time ago, about enough money in the pool. I believe that I felt it needed to be about 100,000, not 50,000. So I definitely think it's a worthy thing, but I did notice in some of the selections of some of the people getting the grants, mentally I had some questions in my mind of whether they fit the program, but I trust our Shire staff that they would done good due diligence in that way that they would. So that's all I've got to say. Thanks.
Councillor Healy, would you like to speak on the motion as a seconder?
Just that I'm quite excited to see the first round be approved and go through. It's been a project in the works for a little while, so it's exciting to see for our small businesses in town.
Okay, I'll call for a vote by show of hands then. That's carried 7-0. As per the earlier procedural motion, we're now looking at item 12.3, elected member. Sorry, it's just scrolled past. Oh. Elected members' professional development training request, Shire President Smith. So the officer recommendation is that Council approves President Smith's enrolment in the Western Australian Local Government Diploma of Local Government Elected Member for the amount of $10,700. Notes that there are sufficient funds to cover the costs associated with enrolment in the professional development training. And further 3, supports President Smith being reimbursed for the deposit paid to enrol in the Diploma of Local Government Elected Member course on the provision of a receipt. Are there any questions on this item?
Councillor Sutherland, is it the same course you just completed, diploma?
Yes. CEO Keith, would you like to answer that question?
Through the chair, yes it is.
Cool. Thank you.
If there are no other questions, I would like to move this item. And is there a seconder? Councillor Rumble is the seconder. So I would like to speak on this motion to strongly support the application for professional development. As someone who has recently completed the Diploma of Local Government for elected members, I can personally speak to the value and the impact of this training on the capacity of a council. I think my feedback statement to Wolga on the course summarises why I believe it's such a good course to do. So I'll just repeat that here. The best aspects of studying the Diploma of Local Government for elected members were the practical skills it built and how directly every unit connected to real council work. The course strengthened my understanding of legislation, meeting procedures, strategic planning and community engagement, and it made me more confident and effective in my role. Working through real case studies and the Shire documents helped link the theory with the day-to-day decision-making, while collaborating with other elected members and other elected members from other shires provided valuable insight into different approaches to governance. Overall, the diploma gave me clear structure, stronger accountability practices, and a deeper understanding of how to make informed, strategic and community-focused decisions. Training such as this aligns directly with the Strategic Community Plan's emphasis on strong leadership and good governance and continuous improvement. When our Shire President invests in ongoing development, that benefits flows across the whole council table and into the community. So it's a pleasure to support this request. Councillor Rumble, would you like to speak on this motion?
Yeah, I think it's a great idea because I believe at last local government week it was raised amongst other shires how north of Geraldton or even maybe low didn't get any scholarships for members of their shires to do local government training for the diploma. So, yeah, I'm a great supporter that this has happened. Unfortunately, previously we've had other councillors that didn't follow through and they went down and did the so-called training, but they didn't do the assignments. So it's good to see Councillor Sutherland getting through, and she was on a scholarship. So that was even most important. So hopefully we can get a scholarship maybe next time for our Shire. So thank you. Yep.
Thank you. I would now like to call for a vote for the item by a show of hands. And that is carried 7-0. Welcome back, Shire President. The Economic and Tourism Development Committee Shire of Ashburton Small Grants Business Program passed 7-0, and the item 12.3, Elected Members Professional Development Training Request, Shire President Smith, also passed 7-0.
Thank you, Deputy Shire President Sullivan. Item 12, Office of the Chief Executive Officer Report 12.1, Endorsement of the Shire of Ashburton's Local Emergency Management Arrangement and Local Recovery Plans. The Officer's recommendation that Council adopts the Shire of Ashburton's Local Emergency Management Arrangements and Local Recovery Plan as provided at Attachment 1 and 2 in accordance with the requirements of the Emergency Management Act 2005 and State Emergency Management Preparedness Procedure 8. To authorise the Chief Executive Officer to approve any minor changes that may be required before the documents are finalised and forwarded to the State Emergency Management Committee for final endorsement. Councillors, may I please have a mover and a seconder? Councillor Healy and Councillor Sullivan. Is there anyone against this item? If not, councillors, may I please have a show of hands for support of this item? That is carried 8-0. Item 12.2.2, requests for Shire funding allocation, Tom Price Volunteer Bushfire Brigade. The officer's recommendation that Council, 1, supports during the 2025-26 budget review, apologies, a budget allocation of $5,760 being identified to fund the cost of contract cleaning services at the Tom Price Emergency Services Facility for the period to 30th of June 2026. 2, during the development of the 2026-27 annual budget, consider an allocation of $5,760 to fund the cost of contract cleaning services at the Tom Price Emergency Services Facility for the period to 30th of June 2027. 3, supports the Chief Executive Officer developing and implementing an acquittal process for any funds allocated for contract cleaning services at the Tom Price Emergency Services Facility. Councillors, are there any questions in relation to this item? May I please have a mover and a second? Councillor Rumble and Councillor Healy. Is there anyone who speak against?
Oh.
No, can you please show of hands in support of this item? That is,
Say something.
well, if there's no one against, I can move forward and
Is that
just go
right?
for voting.
Is that correct? Oh, bully for
But
you.
I will let you speak if you like to, Councillor Rumble.
And it's not about my own voice, but it is about the actual, my investigation into this item. You probably think that why is Shire paying for cleaning of a club of bushfire group? From my investigations, I found out that that's because it's Ashburton Shire Bushfire Brigade. And actually, that group of people actually belong to the Ashburton Shire, and so the issue is around the fact that those volunteers that go there don't feel the need that they should be doing the cleaning in that environment because it is part of Ashburton Shire facility. So I wanted to share that. I don't know if the document really shares that well, but from my investigations, that's what I found. So thank you. Bye.
Thank you, Councillor Rumble. Can I please have a show of hands in support of this item? That is carried 8-0. Item 12.3, thank you. 12.4, my apologies. Councillor Healy has left the room at 1:28 p.m. .4, elected members' professional development. Training request, Councillor B. Healy. Officer's recommendation that Council approve Council Bree Healy's enrolment in the Australian Industry Company Directors course for the amount of $8,000. 2, note that there are sufficient funds to cover the costs associated with enrolment in the professional development training. Are there any questions in regard to this item, councillors? There isn't. May I please have a mover and a seconder? Councillor Sullivan, Councillor Day. Is there anyone who wants to speak against this item? If not, councillors.
Through the chair, may I speak in support of this item?
Yes, you can, Councillor Sullivan.
Thank you, Shire President. I am supportive of Councillor Healy's request for professional development. Continued training is a key element of good governance and it strengthens our collective decision making. The Strategic Community Plan calls for capable, well-informed leadership and for decisions that are strategic and community focused. Investing in training for councillors strengthens our ability to meet these expectations. Councillor Healy demonstrates a strong commitment to her role and this training will support her ongoing contribution and I wholeheartedly support the recommendation.
Councillor Day, would you like to speak to this? If not, may I please have a show of hands if you support this item? That is carried 7-0. Councillor Healy return at 1:29 p.m. Item 13, Corporate Service Report. 13.1, 2026 Ordinary Council and Committee Meeting Dates. The recommendation that council endorse the 2026 ordinary council meeting dates detailed in the table on the screen or in your books. And 2, 2026 committee meeting dates. You didn't have an amendment, no. Are there any questions in regard to this item, councillors? If not, may I please have a mover and a seconder? Councillor Rumble and Councillor Healy. Councillor Rumble, would you like to speak on this item?
I'm fine, Madam President, thanks.
Councillor Healy as a seconder? No. Does anyone like to speak against? Okay. May I please have a show of hands in support of this item? Oops. It's carried 8-0. 13.2 Special Audit Risk and Improvement Committee and Council meetings 24th of November 2025 by electronic means. Officers' recommendation that Council authorises an Audit Risk and Improvement Committee meeting being held by electronic means at 6 p.m. on the 24th of November 2025 pursuant to Regulation 14D subsection 2C of the Local Government Administration Regulation 1996, with the purpose of the meeting being to receive the annual audit report. 2. Authorises a special council meeting being held by electronic means at 6:30 p.m. on 24th of November 2025 for the purpose of receiving the annual audit report for the Audit Risk and Improvement Committee and acceptance of the 2024-2025 annual report. Councillors, do you have any questions in regarding to this item? If not, may I please have a mover and a seconder? Councillor Sullivan and Councillor Day. Councillor Sullivan, would you like to speak on this item? Councillor Day? No. Is there anyone to speak against? Can I please have a show of hands if you support this item? That is carried 8-0. Delegation amendment. First of the first 12. 1.1.12. Disposal of property. Officers' recommendation that Council adopts the amendments to the delegation of authority 1.1.12 as detailed in Attachment 1 pursuant to Section 5.42 of the Local Government Act 1995. Are there any questions in relation to this item? No. May I please have a mover and a seconder? Councillor Fox and Councillor Healy. Is there anyone who wants to speak against this item? If not, I will take that as carried. 8-0. .4 Quarterly Progress Reporting. Officers' recommendation that Council receive the quarterly progress report as detailed in Attachment 1. Councillors, are there any questions regarding this item? Not, may I please have a mover and a seconder? Councillor Day and Councillor Healy. Is there anyone who'd like to speak against this item? Councillors, may I please have a show of hands in support of this item? That is carried 8-0. 13.5 Monthly Schedule of Accounts paid October 2025. The officer's recommendation that Council, in accordance with Regulation 13 and 13A of the Local Government Financial Management Regulations 1996, confirms that this monthly schedule of accounts paid for October 2025, inclusive of purchasing card payments for October 2025 as included at Attachment 1. Are there any questions regarding this item, councillors? Not, may I please have a mover and a seconder? Councillor White and Councillor Fox. Is there anyone who wants to speak against this item? Not. Can I please have a show of hands if you support? That is carried 8-0. 13.6. Monthly financial statements, October 2025. Recommendation that Council, in accordance with Regulation 34 of the Local Government Financial Management Regulation 1996, accepts the statement of financial activity and associated documentation for October 2025 as included in Attachment 1. Are there any questions in regard to this item, councillors? May I please have a mover and a seconder? Councillor Sullivan and Councillor Day. Is anyone opposed to this item? May I please show of hands in support? Thank you. That is carried 8-0. 13.7. Change in the basis of rating, Sunway Enterprises freehold land. Officer's recommendation that Council acknowledges that in accordance with Section 6.28 subsection 2B of the Local Government Act 1995 that Lot 5, Northwest Coastal Highway, Nanatara, is predominantly used for non-rural purposes and that the gross rental value of land is the appropriate valuation basis. Authorises the Chief Executive Officer to apply to the Minister for Local Government to change the basis of rating applicable to Lot 5, Northwest Coastal Highway, Nanatara, from unimproved value to gross rental value. Are there any questions in relation to this item? May I please have a mover and a seconder? Councillor Rumble, Councillor Rogers, sorry. Did you want to speak on this item, Councillor Rumble?
Madam President, I will make a short note. This item has been to council before, been spoken about, and I think it's pretty straightforward, the process that goes now, and I support it. Yeah.
Councillor Rogers, do you have anything you would like to add? No. Is there anyone to speak against? Can I please have a show of hands if you support this item? That's carried 8-0. Item 14, Infrastructure Services Report. We do not have any. Item 15, Community Development Report. 15.1, Stage 2, Onslow Streetscape Project. Officer's recommendation that Council allocates $3 million from the December budget review for early works associated with the Stage 2 Onslow Streetscape Project. Lists for consideration in the 2026-2027 annual budget an allocation of $14.8 million for completion of the Stage 2 Onslow Streetscape Project. 3. Authorises the Chief Executive Officer or Delegated Officer to call tenders for the Stage 2 Onslow Streetscape Project incorporating the First Street Drainage Project and report back to Council at February Council meeting regarding the award of a contract. Are there any questions in regarding to this item, councillors? Anyone? Can I please have a move and second? Councillor White and Councillor Healy. Councillor White, would you like to speak on this item? Sorry, can I get you to turn your mic?
This is very exciting for Onslow. It's been a long time coming and should fix our drainage from that area of town at least, and we're getting there. It's really good news to see this come to council, and while the machinery's in town, it'll be a lot cheaper to use the machinery that's there than waiting and because mobilisation of all the equipment needed, it costs a lot. So, no, I'm very happy with this.
Thank you, Councillor White. Councillor Healy, would you like to speak? No. Is there anyone else to speak against this item? Not. Councillors, may I please have a show of hands to support this item? That is carried 8-0. 15.2, Panawanika Bike Park Destination Playground. Hang on, councillor. Councillor Rumble, can I just wait till you finish this so we can announce that you're leaving? Destination Playground and Sports Club decking, upgrade variation. Councillor Rogers, Councillor Sullivan and Councillor Rumble will be leaving the room now at 1:40 p.m. Thank you. It's just a respect. Thank you. Officer's recommendation that Council endorse the variation to the Pannawonica Bike Park, Destination Playground and Sports Club outdoor decking upgrade business case as detailed in attachment 1, and 2, approve a budget variation as per the table on the screen. 3, approve the progression to a request for tender for the Destination Playground and Sports Club decking components in accordance with the Local Government Act 1995 and the Local Government Functions and General Regulations 1996. Are there any questions in relation to this item? May I please have a mover and a seconder? Councillor Fox, Councillor Day. Councillor Fox, would you like to speak as a mover on this item?
Yeah, just like to say that obviously the sports club and the pump track have been sort of long waiting in the town. Speak for the town that they're really looking forward to the asset there. Sports club's in a good spot, it's just dated, so the upgrades there will be much appreciated.
Councillor Day, would you like to speak on this item? Okay, agree. It's a great project for the community of Pannawonica. Councillors, if there's no one against, can I have a show of hands support of this item? That is carried 5-0. Can we please have Councillor Rumble come to? Thank you, Councillor Healy. So councillors that just have returned at 1:42 p.m. Item 15.2 Pannawonica Bike Park Destination Playground and Sports Club outdoor decking upgrade variation has gone through with 5-0. So 15.3 endorsement of the draft public art master plan. The officer's recommendation that Council endorses the public art master plan as detailed in attachment 1. Is there any questions in relation to this item? Councillors, may I please have a mover and a seconder? Councillor Sullivan and Councillor Rumble. Councillor Sullivan, as a mover, would you like to speak on this item?
Yes, thank you, Madam President. I support the endorsement of the draft Public Art Master Plan. Public art plays a valuable role in shaping vibrant communities, sharing our local stories and deepening the sense of identity across our towns. The Strategic Community Plan places strong emphasis on celebrating local culture and creating places that feel welcoming and reflective of our community. This master plan provides a clear, structured approach for achieving that. Endorsing the draft now means that it can go out for community feedback, which is an important step. I support the recommendation.
Councillor Rumble, would you like to speak as a seconder on this item?
I think the work done in the agenda item with all the photos and that and demonstrated details of the concept idea of artwork was well done. So congratulations to that staff person. Thank you.
Is there anyone like to speak against this item? Not, can I please have a show of hands in support of this item? That is carried 8-0. Item 16, Council's agenda item, notices of motion. We do not have any. Item 17, new business of an urgent nature introduced by Council decision. We do not have any. Councillors, we are going into confidential item. Can I please have a mover and a seconder to go behind closed doors under pursuant to clause 6.2 Shire of Ashburton Standing Orders Local Laws 2012 to consider the following confidential item 18.1. Councillor Sullivan and Councillor Day. Can I please have a show of hands to go behind? Item 18, Chief Executive Officers Recruitment and Performance Review Committee meeting held on 18th of November 2025. CEO 1.1, establishing CEO Executive Officer Performance Criteria. That was voted 8-0. Item 19, next meeting. The next ordinary council meeting will be held at 1 p.m. on Tuesday, 9th of December 2025 at Council Chambers, Onslow Shire Complex, 2nd Avenue, Onslow. Item 20, closure of meeting. Being no further business, I close this meeting at 1:50 p.m. Thank you, councillors, and thank you to everyone online.
Councillor Brew, you aware that you got approved for your funding?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought that, you didn't mention that when you came in?
Oh.